Alrighty, welcome back. I'm your man, Bad Chad, and Queen Jolene's on the camera. And this is our first day home. We had a fantastic time at the Grand National Roadster Show. I've been there a couple times before, but I have to say this one by far was my favorite. And the reason being probably is because when I started doing this bodywork, custom bodywork, and building cars that were, not so ordinary, I looked towards people, and the people that I look towards are the people that I've seen in the magazines, people that I've actually seen their cars and the work they had done, and that's the people I looked towards, looked up to, that I want it to be like. That's what I always say. You got to look towards somebody. But it was the weekend where I got to actually hang out with some of these people that I looked up to. And to be able to look at them eye to eye and talk conversation, and not have to it was just nice. To be honest with you, probably one of my favorite moments was one of the people that I admired and looked towards came up to me and asked me if we could take a picture together, and that was less like, you know what I mean? It kind of that made my weekend right there. Not going to throw any names because I really don't have to. It was just somebody I looked up to or still look up to. But there was many of them there, and I had a great time. I think Jolene had a great time. What can I say? The cars were over the top. Basically, what I'm thinking is it's probably the Super Bowl of cars. If you ever want to go there, it's fantastic. What else am I going to say? I'll say something as we get going along. I want to talk about the car for a little bit, and then my brain will come back to it. But the 50 is all primed. The primers are all hard on it. I've been rubbing my hands over it. Come look, sweetheart, at this stuff. We got some stuff here showing a little bit. Got some pinholes where we did some body work. We're gonna body fill those first. That's what we're gonna do. But the body looks really, really, really good. There's obviously stuff the pinholes I'm gonna fix, but the body looks pretty straight. Jolene and I acquired a new breather at the car show because we were all excited, all the shiny cars down there. I said, man, I gotta have a breather, So we ended up buying a breather for the car. I think it looks fantastic. We got it at the Moon Eyes site there in the main hall. I said, will you take 200? He said, nope. Hey, why not? I tried, and basically they stuck on their price. When you go buy something, sometimes you can dicker with them, and I tried to dicker with them, and no, there's no dickering with certain places. You can't go to Walmart and say, I'll give you $3.99 for that. They just don't accept it, but it's what I tried, and I kind of made myself smile. Let's put the hood down, check her out, see what the hood looks like on it. So there was quite a bit of mud work that we did on the car. Let's face it, mudded the hood, got that flattened out the way I wanted to. I did some on the doors and the fenders and the quarter panels and the headlights all across the pan across here. There's quite a bit, of work done to it, all on the post, all on the top of the doors, around the back of the roof, around the taillights, on the trunk lid, basically on the piece where we got for the bumper that had to be done, all on the side. So there's another funny story. I had a friend, we were just chatting on the internet. Jolene was doing the typing for me, and his name is Ross Galitsky, and I asked him what color he thought we should paint it, or he said he's a black guy, and he said, but he didn't know if the body could handle it. It made me laugh, like it really lit me up, because there's a lot of body work on it, and when you're painting a black car, you would like to have it nice and straight, or I do. Anyways, it was just funny that he wondered if it was good enough for that, and basically, I'll know when I do the guide coat on the car what's wrong. That's what we'll do. We'll do the guide coat on it, and we'll sand it off and do it that way. And that way they all know all the highs and lows and that sort of stuff. And I'm hoping that whether it's black or whether it's white or whether it's green or whether it's blue, that it's going to look good, You would probably see the same amount of stuff in a black paint job as you would a blue paint job, is what I'm thinking. So that's what we'll do. Let's go here for a minute. the car looks really good. I have to get my poop in a group and do something with the headlights. I have not got anything for the headlights. I did not have any rings for that car or the headlights or the buckets. I'm going to have to do something real quick. So it's our first day back, and let's go this way, sweetheart. So it's our first day back from California. They had a warning of rain and bluster when we were down there. Where we were at, it was cool, like no big deal, Nova Scotia sort of deal thing. But this is what we come home to. We left and there was none, right? But that's what we come home to, and that's what happens in Nova Scotia. I think that's what gives us a little bit of, I don't know what it's called, but she's quite full of snow. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do right now. I'm just probably going to let it melt for a while. What happens is it melts down and then it turns into ice, and then once it's ice, it's over. Like it's there until it breaks. Baby? Fina. Oh, she missed her. She was making a snow angel. What I mean by that is rolling around on her back. Come on in. What I'm doing today, I am working on the bumper. I got to talk to a chroming guy down there, and he explained to me a little bit about a bumper. Explained a little bit about it, and you can, from what I understand, you're stripping the bumper down. You can only, like what he said, you can only add so much copper to straighten it out. So you would add copper, and then you could block out stuff that you didn't like in your bumper. I'm talking about if you've welded up your bowl holes on your bumper so it's flush mount, or if you put a piece on it, or like I did on Elvis, I welded the front end where the license plate is. He said you can put copper on it and build it up and block some of it out if the metal work is really good. Now, if it's not really, really good and you've taken too much material off, that means he has to go in and do some lead work and lead them and then block that out and then recopper it again. So I guess what I'm saying is the better bumper work or metal work you do, I guess it keeps the price down somewhat. But from what I understand, a bumper like this, just like this, $1,500. And that would be American. So for me and Jolene, that would be, $2,500 to have this bumper chromed. I'm not sure if I can buy a new one for that. I have no idea. This bumper has some chrome coming up on it in the back. It does. I had this piece right here that I wanted to put on for the license plate because I deleted the license plate on the trunk lid, and I wanted to put this on here. This is the only thing I have that I think I would want on there. I did knock out some dents on the other side the best I could, and I've been trying to cut it down to fit the bumper. I've been trying to get it, piece of pattern, trying to get it cut down so I can get it to go on this bumper because it did not go on there. I've been cutting away metal on it. It's all right there on the floor. And I've been trying to make it work. So as I get going, I've been adding a little bit of metal to it and whatever, but I'm trying to get this bad boy on here. I want to get put on there like so I can put my license plate in this bad boy, and then it can look a little different in the back than it usually does. And I'm going to weld this on, and I'm going to do the best job again. I'm going to clean this all up with a flapper wheel or whatever, just clean it the best I can. It's got this, no harm, no foul. That's done. That's done. And if we think that we need the bumper done, well, then we know what to do. You'd have to send and get it chrome. But I do want that on there for the license plate because of what it did to the trunk lid. I took that thing off. Got the front window garnish moldings all welded up. Nathan did an awesome job on that. Got them welded up. Now they have to be filled out, but that's quite a shape for a garnish molding in a front window. It's quite a shape. Let's go over here for a second. Nathan's in underneath the dash, and when you're underneath the dash, it's not a good place. It's just hard to work, hard to lay over, hard on everything. Nathan came in this morning. He said, I don't like them motor mounts that much. He said, can I change them? I said, well, you do what makes you happy. And we talked it over, and this is what he done. He just sheared off the top of it. There was a top that he had. He had the top of it. He just sheared that off wherever he thought he didn't like it. And that's the way it is now. And I think that he made the right decision. And if you think that you're doing something on your car and you don't like it, make sure you cut it off. Because to be honest with you, I'm much happier with that myself. That looks way better. I know that you can buy the 60 or 55 Chevy mounts that mount like that, but that would not have worked on this one because this is a Hudson Terraplane and the mounts are in a different place because I kind of looked them over, looked them up in the book. But now he's got the transmission mount done. But now he's tearing out the insulation for the firewall. And he's got it half it out.
Yeah, I got half of it here now.
And tearing that out. Basically, he's going to cut a hole in the firewall for that distributor. So the distributor's back here. We've got our fan here. We've got enough room. I mean, our radiators here. He's going to end up taking this out and doing something with it. He said that he was thinking that up to here, it would probably fit, but you would never be able to pull your distributor. So he thought about going here. That would give us a little higher. And then Jolene said, no, I want to go here. And the reason being is, got two little spots here. You might as well get rid of all this, is to keep some of it. So we'll just come up and take a piece out of there, I guess. And it'll be what Nathan decides because he's the one doing it, basically.
We got the mechanical fuel pump all geared up so it bolts on there.
All right on. So he's also cut out the chassis there, and it looks fantastic. Got that all cut out and put on. That's going to work now, and I think that's a good choice because if something does happen, we can just go to the store and buy one. And sometimes I find that the electrical fuel pumps overpower the carburetor sometimes, I find. Also, what happened to you, Nate, in your truck?
Oh, the needle stuck in my carburetor and pumped the gas right through the carburetor into the block, and then I didn't know it when I went to start it and bent two push rods because it too much. The cylinder locked her up.
Right on.
Bent a couple of push rods and it was a great time.
Probably not. Probably not. So that's what's going on with that. Also, we looked at the front end. It's a good thing, you know, things are getting looked over. We got one of this straight up and down. Then we got this one right straight out this way. Main leaf is broken, is it not?
Yes.
Main leaf's broken that, and it pulled it away from what's going in there. So that's a good thing that has to be replaced and know what's going on there. It's got a grease fitting on. I'm not sure if it's wound out or or broke off or something like that.
It is the strap, and it slid between sliding out.
Right on. So on this engine thing that's going in here, the steering's going to work. The brake system, I think, is probably going to be able to stay in place. So it's going really good for a transplant of a small block from a straight six cylinder. It's going really good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I got transmission thing all done. Yeah, so that's what's going on. I'm going to go over here, and I'm probably going to put this bumper thing on. Let's do it. I got a funny story. We act like I said, the people that you look up to, that you meet. There was a show called Storage Wars, and there was this guy on there that always drove the cool cars and was kind of comical. And he was just, I guess I just looked at him as a pretty cool cat. His name was Barry Weiss. He was on a show called Storage Wars. We actually got invited to his house, and we went over, first time meeting him and stuff, and just kind of chatting. We kind of hit it off. He went in his kitchen, and his kitchen is pretty cool. Like it's quite something else. All the, I guess, fridge and dishwasher and stove and all that stuff is covered in machine work, like Jolene's dash of her Bugatti. It's all machine work. Like I don't know how to explain it. It looks like it's been machined. Engine turned, machine turned, yes, engine turned. Anyways, I went to say I like it and then point at it. I generally don't touch things because they're not mine, but I went towards the oven stove, and he looked at me, no, and he grabbed my arm. He screamed right out loud and grabbed my arm. And I kind of looked at him funny because I wasn't going to touch anything, but he explained the story that when he did this refit of all this machine work or engine turned material on his fridge and stove and stuff, they covered up his timer on the stove. So when it would be on, he wouldn't know, and it would go off, and he'd have to get up in the middle of the night and try to turn this thing off, and 45 minutes later it'd be ringing again. So basically he got it so it got turned off, and he did not want it turned back on. But it was a funny moment. You know what I mean? We just got there. No! He grabbed my and tore me away from the stove. But it started off good and it ended off good. But that was a funny story. Jolene messaged him and told him that just put a dot on the dial and a dot on the engine turn stuff, and you'll know where it comes off. And that way there you don't have to terrify your guests. Too funny. It was a good time. Let's do this. Got to see Alex Gambino. That was a good time to see him. Yeah, he's doing well. He looks good. What I've got going on here, I'm going to just pluck this on here. This is going to have to this is not getting welded on there, obviously there's going to be, but I'm going to stop welding it right there, and I'm going to come right down along there and weld it all the way along there. I'll do the same on the inside, but I do want to straighten this out. I can see I got a point there. I've been cutting that off. I want to straighten that out right down to there, and that way there it just looks better, basically. It had more metal on it. I've cut it away. Probably should have shown you. Like Jolene said, well, you know, you probably could have showed it, but we're going to do a little bit for you right now, so that's good enough, I think. Now, I'm going to take a marker. I want to straighten out this stuff. See how this is curved over for the old bumper? It's curved there for the old bumper like that. I don't like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line and make it the way I want to make it. Like that. And that way there, it looks like it continues on straight. It doesn't have that point in. You would never have that, I wouldn't think. Let's do this side. Exact same thing. And I've been just sanding that off instead of using the cutting wheel. That sander works really nice. Just checking her out. I'm going to end up disturbing Fina probably though. Watch Fina. Barry had the car scraped there. If you look it up, it's a Lincoln Zephyr. Basically, probably the lowest chopped Lincoln Zephyr you'll find. And it lays, like he said, frame. So he was saying that it was probably the first car that laid frame, if you know what I'm saying. So the frame's basically on the ground. And it was quite an amazing car. He drove it home in the rain. I was only there for 3 hours, and I got more stories to tell about him. It was funny. He gave me a walnut with rubber in it.
That was a good one.
Give me a walnut with a rubber in it. No, it wasn't a walnut. It was a hazel. It was just a small nut. Acorn. That's what it was. An acorn. You wouldn't think a rubber would fit in an acorn, but it popped out just as proud as anything. Keep messing with it and keep messing with it until I think I like it, you know. Now I put some weld on right there, but I got to do something with it before I weld it on there, or I'll never be able to get anything done with it, if you know what I'm trying to tell you, if I don't do it before I put it on there. Another thing the chromer said, do not grind all your metal away. Basically, he was, you know, once you grind it all away, he's got nothing to work with. And that's basically what I'm talking with the cars that you're welding on to. I think we got enough metal left, looking pretty good. He did tell me that, and I'm taking it. And what I mean by taking it, and I'm listening to him, I guess. Trying to get this weld busted off here. I picked the car that won the Grand National Roadshow show before they drawled it. That's the one I picked. If you watch the video, I say which one I picked, and the one I picked won. And not because of anything other than I liked the way it was, the way it looked, is what I picked it off. I didn't pick it off the workmanship, because basically when you go to that place, I mean, how do you say this work is better than this work? You don't, basically you're not going to say that at that show probably, but I would say just the way it looked, basically. It was no worries. That's what I was thinking, just by looks. I've got this looking pretty good, I think. I got a little bit of gap going on there, but you know what I'm going to do. You know what I'm going to do. On this side, fitting pretty good. I'm going to weld it on from the top of the round part down around, and I'll do it on the same on the inside. Just take my time, do a good job. I'm going to measure from each hole, each bowl hole, and find out where it's supposed to go. But I want to take these off. These lights, I can get these, from what I understand. Napa probably would carry them, so I could probably just get them, replace them. Got to meet Oz, John DeGastiano, Daryl Hollenbach, he's the guy that painted the winter car. Jimmy Shine. All the people that I, you know, generally look up to, or had looked up to, still look up to, towards the car world, you know. Got to start somewhere, and that's where I started, looking up to somebody else and trying to be as accomplished as they are. And the only way that you get there is by working, isn't it? Huh? Work. Gene Winfield was not there. I was hoping to see him. I'm thinking that he was under the weather. And what I mean by under the weather is not feeling well. I'm going to try this bad boy on there. I don't really want to scuff it up too much, but I want to take the rusties off that the best I can before I weld it on there. See what happens with this. So I'm just one thing right to another, customizing the bumper now. So I'm going to leave it for a little bit, the car inside there. Probably maybe got the bodywork after a little bit, but there's so many other little tiny things to do. Like, to be honest with you, the garnish moldings were this morning. The bus bumpers today. I wish it would take that rust off, but let's do this. I'm going to hit with that flapper wheel. I'm going to take you can see where the chrome's coming off. I'm going to take it off.
Come on in, Fee.
Gotta thank Dave for the Galpin Museum. That was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It was all good. Be able to get a chance to clean it if I'd welded on there before. You know, probably should be blasting the inside of it. I probably should be. Not sure, but probably. And I must say, on the car that John DeGostiano had and Oz built, the back bumper was customized. They had a bar on it like this, and I think they had 2 cones on it with the exhaust coming out of it. And Oz made that bumper, and they had that chrome, and that bumper looked fantastic, didn't it? Like that was, I went over and looked at the bumper after talking to the chrome guy, and that bumper was fantastic because he had welded that all together. And let's face it, when you weld together, you're causing issues. But man, that thing looked fantastic. With the price, though. A lot of great ideas down there, a lot of inspiration. If you want to get inspired about working on your car, man, hit a car show like that. You'll go home and build a castle. Anybody that's into cars should witness it probably, or go through it. And I'm just saying that because if you don't see it, you'll never know. Talk about it all day if you want to. But if you've never been there, you probably wouldn't. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, I guess. Jolene looks amazing today. She treated me so awesome down there the whole time. God bless her. Got me on the airplane, she did, and packed my luggage for me.
I think you're spoiled.
I think I am. And I love it.
Better take it while you can.
Alrighty. Now, I'm thinking, let's get a spot here where I'm going to weld this bad boy on here. I'm going to do it. And the reason being is, why not? That don't look too bad. I got quite a bit of gap going on there, but we got some heavy metal there, and I had practiced welding for a little bit, and we'll see if we can get her. Right on. Let's do this. We got to find center of that. I don't want to use a measuring tape, but I'm gonna.
There's two over here.
Sometimes it's a little different when you're trying to, you know. For me, eyeing a piece of metal up, I guess it's kind of a marker. Wasn't ready, I guess. No marker. Probably got a marker over there. Find center. Oh, she's getting rid of her trusty 37. Yes, we'd have to go that way. Okay, I'll say 37 and a quarter. 37 and a quarter. 15's 30. 18.
Just over half.
2 ticks? Just a minute now. 37 and a quarter, so it's half of 37 is what? Or 15 is 30. 3 and a half? 18 and a half. 18 and a half. Center. I guess I'm going to find center first. I'll hold that there for a second. I'm actually going to eye it up. What I think is center on my thing. I got a little high spot on this piece of bumper here. This is what I'm going to do. I'll mark it.
Excuse me.
I'll mark it. See what we got. 8 and 3/16. 7 3/4.
Don't go by that. Don't go by that, Nate.
Let's split it. Let's go 7 5/8.
That right there. Don't ever go by.
Hard to hold that.
The top of that. That's the top of that. All right.
7/8. What did I say this side was? See, I get going with the measuring tape. 7 3/4.
We're gonna take that.
7 7/8. Go back here a little bit. No, 7 7 is fine. What am I doing here? That's the right one. Seven 7/8. No, it's not. That's why I don't like a tape measure so much, boys. Let's go in there somewhere. It should be fine. This one right there. Now, I'm just going to take a little bit off each one. That's going to be my center mark. If you know what I'm trying to tell you. I'm going to mark it on the bumper now. I get my hand up there. It's the bumper.
Excuse me. All right, I think that's where that's gonna be.
Good to me. Take this off. I weld that on there. We'll have that tape on there. I guess. And there's many different ways of doing this, I guess, but this is the way I'm doing it. Now, let's turn the welder on. I'm pretty sure it'll weld right on that, no problem whatsoever, that chrome. But if it does not, I'll have to peel it off. We're going to get her cleaned up one way or another. We'll go on the back side of a nut probably. That'd be probably the best. It might burn to the chrome for the ground maybe if I do that. Don't want that. Got my glasses, the helmet. Thanks for coming back, everybody. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much. If I haven't told you already, had a fantastic time on our trip. Fantastic. The Peterson was awesome. Just if I forgot anything or whatever, everything was excellent. Everything was excellent. Really good. Better than good. Ooh, there's where she fits. Now, Nathan, will you do me a favor?
Yes, sir.
Will you give me a hand to hold this just so I just... Perfect. You want to just hold that in, hold that tight to the bottom of the bumper. Now I can hold this on tight to the bottom of the bumper. And I'm just going to tack it on for now. Tack it one more time.
Nothing seemed to move here at all.
Good, thank you. I think I got her, yeah? Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Just looking at the top of the bumper, just seeing whether I want that leaned in or not. Just want to see if it's leaned in the bumper. The same. Looks good.
Yeah.
What's that?
That there.
No, the bumper pan's going to lay on top of this, so that's why it's cut away from there. Right? So that bumper pan will come down and lay in here on top of that. Remember, it's Frenched. No, it's going to lay down here, so there should be lots of room for that. Basically, I'm just going to take a look at it here for a second. Alrighty. Jeez, like, not worth an eighth, is it? Yes. I think I'm going to cut it off. I think I want to go that way just a little tiny bit. I want to go that way. Zip cut's right behind you. Zip cut? You have a zip cut right?
Yeah, right there by the wheel, yeah. Got a question for you.
What's that?
If we made this in, we cut this here out.
Yeah.
Here's the 10 inches. This is still above the distributor right here, right? But
Okay.
we can't pull the distributor with
Right.
that. And we have to shove this in 2 inches.
Yeah.
If we shove this in 2 inches, cut it here, shove it in 2 inches, and then cut this, made that so that piece unbolts out.
I just get cut it out.
Yeah.
Cut the whole square out.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut the whole thing out at once, yeah.
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 And then we'll just make a piece like flat like this
Yep.
with the corner rounded on it, and we'll make it lots long. So when then you
Yeah,
shove it
2
in how
inches,
far as
yeah.
you want to get it in,
Yeah.
and then we'll come along here and trace it. So you'll probably want
That'll go in 2 inches, yeah.
you probably want like a 5-inch lip on the outside of that bend, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just have it longer than you need it.
Make it longer than we need it, then trim it off.
And then you can just shove it through, and then we can just mark it out here where it fits. Because it's going to be on an angle too, right?
Yep.
Because there's going to have to be quite a bit. So
Yeah.
that, yeah, I think that, and then we'll make the top after you get it put in there.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I got everything ready, and so I'm going to get ready to cut it out, so.
Okay, I'm going to take the zip cut
Yeah.
for a second and cut this off. I didn't want to do that. If you'll give me a hand for a second, how's that?
No problem, whatever.
You give me a hand for a second.
Oh, yeah. What would you like?
Well, probably need you to hold my hand more than anything. I cut this back off, and
Cut this back off.
I do. I went one way too far, or too shy. I should have brought it. I'm going to cut this side off first. Damned old measuring tape got me. Will that break off yet?
Yep. Just about.
Ah, damn thing.
There we go.
I have to knock them off, clean them up. Damn it all. Just like anything, I have to clean off the mess the burr I made. I have to clean that off. Pull this up. If you'll turn my welder on, that'd be great.
Yep.
I'll stick her back on.
So here's your old mark.
I want. There's 8 inches. From. Can you grab the whole here?
Here, I got to hold it here. If you,
Okay.
8.5 to the center.
No, I'm just doing it right at the edge of the
Oh,
bolt.
okay, yep.
8 inches. Oh, better do that again. I'm getting to it. I got to measure it again. That's why I don't like a tape measure. Second guess myself all the time with it. There's no sense second guessing. Oh, hold the damn thing on there.
Got it welded on yet?
I'm on it right now. Can't see, but just do it this way.
Seeing's overrated.
Not the way to do it, to be honest with you, but. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Got her?
You got her.
Am I able to steal that zip blade from you now?
You
or?
are.
What you done?
Come on.
Tangulations here.
The tangulation.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Yep, everything is good in there. I got a piece of sheet.
First time doing this. Guess it's going okay. Spot her on there. It's really nice metal to weld, so I should probably end up doing a fairly good job. Take your time. Should be able to do a fairly good job. Tacking everything in place so it don't take off on me. It's good. Hear that? Sounds like one took off. It's hard to tell too. See this? We'll do a little bit at a time. Trying to keep the weld, you know, decent, so when it comes time to take it off, and remember, anything with heat will generally try to move on you. It's like my helmet. Just trying to put a spot of weld on, right on top of what's there before, and then try to keep overlapping it halfway, try to get myself a half decent weld going on, I guess. The best I can with the gap I have. A little bit of a gap there, so doing the best I can.
How's that looking there?
This helmet keeps falling down slowly going down over my head. It's gonna probably get pretty hot.
Yeah, which way is going to be the best way here?
As I get looking at this bumper, she did need some love. Or she does need some love. That's for sure. Just want to let that go for a second. I want to get some air on it.
Now, on the inside there, we got the inside. Oh, let's see what we got.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Which way is going to be the best? Let's see. Zip plate. Okay. Sit that one in.
No coat hanger necessary.
You sit here somewhere. You sit that down. Outside in, let's say.
Just a little bit around here and I'll be sitting in. Looks good. Now let's clean that top up a little bit where I got it with the grinder. But it looks good.
Nothing in there. Oh yeah, we're good. We're there now. Set that nut off. Now. Oh, I gotta plug it back in. Plug it in, plug it in.
Plug it in, plug it in. That happens a lot here, man.
Yeah.
That happens a lot here.
Oh, come on, hat. Stay on
Right. I think that all looks good. I'll grind it up a little bit. If I need more weld, I'll put some more weld on it with the welder. But I think it looks good. I got a few scratches up here trying to get that flake foam off. I'm going to get a smoother grit, like a DA with an 80 grit on it, and take them scratches out of it, sand it all off, and try not to hit the bumper. I won't hit the bumper. I'm just going to do this top part, sand it up, and clean it up a little bit better. But I want to thank the Grand National Road Show for giving me a great time. If anybody, there was a lot of people like Laurie Peterson, that guy, he was pretty cool, owns Canadian Hot Rods. I'd say a lot more names. Ace of Shades, the paint, they were fantastic. They let us stay in their booth and hang out and explain their paint with us and that sort of stuff. His name was Mike, was it not? And the other guy. I just want to thank everybody for the great time. What else can I say? Just trying to get back in the roll of things. But we're going to be going to Australia in 2 weeks' time. And we're going to be going to Australia in 2 weeks' time. We're going to take you with us. We're going to work on 3 cars there, I think. We're going to go to 3 different car shows. We're going to go to Caralbin. Still can't say it, Rod. Caralbin. Who? The Merble Rumble. Merba Rumble. You want to see my lips all mess up? We're going to go to that one. Then we're going to Melbourne.
Lane 88 Auto Museum.
To the Lane 88 Auto Museum.
Penrite Oil.
Penrite Oil. We're going there.
And then we're going to South Adelaide.
Then we're going to South Adelaide. I'm just
South Adelaide.
South Adelaide. You're watching me learn the language.
So we'll be in Brisbane.
We'll be in Brisbane,
Melbourne, and South Adelaide.
and South Adelaide. And yeah, so that's where we'll be. We'll be taking off in a couple weeks. Yeah, so I want to thank everybody in California at the Grand National Road Show coming up and saying hi, and the ones that, we got pictures with and all that sort of stuff. If you said good words to me, make sure you know you're a good person. Thanks everybody for coming back. I think Nathan did an awesome job by changing his mind on the mounts. I think that was a great thing, and he did it, first thing this morning. I don't like those, and I said, fine, man, do it the way you want, and that's what he did. I think that's fantastic. If you change your mind on your project, make sure you make yourself happy and go back in there and do that, because after it's all done, you're going to say, oh, well, I wished, and you know what happens after that? You buy another one, do it again. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Anyways, thanks a lot for coming back. We really appreciate it. Come back tomorrow and we'll be here. I'll probably have more stories about the Grand National Road Show, but thanks for coming back and see you tomorrow.